go. All right. Well, here we are. Hi, everybody, and welcome to a special after-school special. It's the Goon Squad reacts to the Sean Payton news. Mark wants a timeout. What, buddy?
Oh, no.
I think you need to start over. Goon Squad special after school special?
Yes, it's the after-school Goon Squad special.
Yeah, but that's not what you said. You said special
whatever.
a lot.
Oh, whatever. It's a special after-school special for the Goon special. It's all special.
And you started with the skadoosh stuff.
Well, we were already on the skadoosh train when he pressed the button, and we were laughing about skadoosh.
No, you were laughing about skadoosh.
You were laughing too. We were all laughing about skadoosh.
3, 2, 1.
No.
We can edit this stuff out.
Right. Yeah. There will be no post. There will be no post. It is full bore gag reel to open the show, and I don't care. In the immortal words of
live.
Right. In the immortal words of that guy whose name I can't remember because he was an asshat. Fuck it, we're doing it live.
We haven't even touched. We're not even topicking at this point. We've already gone off the rails. There are no rails to be on, and we're off of them.
I know, isn't it great? Right? It's a no rails Goon Squad after school special. That's very special. Because you know why? You know why, Mark? Because we're special.
My wife tells me so. I should go get my sweatshirt.
Right? No, just stay where the hell you are. Good Lord. No. See? Well, welcome if you're watching at home, listening wherever you are, especially in Mumbai. Welcome. We're damn glad that you're here. Let me kick you around the squad. My name is Mab, the king of the goons. He's back. He's got his sweatshirt. Let me throw you down to Extreme Southern Command, holding down the fort in Knox Central. Tank, what's going on?
What's going on, everybody? Good to see y'all.
The fuck is a Knox special?
The Knox special?
No, Knox Central. I said
Central.
Knox Central.
Oh,
Central.
Yeah,
that would be
yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
What's going on, bro?
I show what the Knox special is on. Not on that kind of stream, I don't think.
That's a whole other website. That's a different website. Rhymes with.
You notice Matt put his glasses on.
I did. Well, I have to read.
Are you going to show me the special stuff?
I'm reading. I have to read. It's funny. I got my prescription changed, and I can see golf balls great, but I can't read. I have to have
That's
glasses.
unfortunate.
I know. It's so dumb.
Sucks getting old.
Yes, it does. You're both on the way. You'll be here sooner or later.
Oh, I know.
All right.
I already feel it. I get you.
All right. At any rate, good to see you, Tank.
Good to see you.
All right. And next, the man we named the podcast after. He is the Kaiser, the Goldagoon, the one with the hair. Yes, he's an idiot. And I'm lips. It's backwards.
I am special.
I summon him, my brother, the idiot Goon.
Hi.
Jesus.
And I am here. Yeah, go on. Let's go.
All right, there you go. Hey, buddy, how are you?
I've been talking for the entire 4.5 minutes we're on, so I didn't really feel like the was necessary this time, but I got it anyway.
Yeah. All right, good.
Yeah.
So I guess before we really get into the big news of the week, I do want to call out, it very well may be official here, gentlemen. The GOAT has retired again. Yes, Tom Brady has announced his retiring from the NFL for the second time in 364 days. Mark, I'm going to start with you. Is this it?
It sure feels like it. I don't know where this guy goes. He doesn't have anything to do now.
Oh, he's got a
He has
contract.
a decade
No, I'm
long
just saying.
contract.
I know. I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm
Oh.
just saying he has nothing to do. Like, his family split up with him. You know,
I
and
think he
then
still has custody of the kids, doesn't he?
not full custody, I'm sure.
No, probably not, but he'll be fine.
But yeah, he's got this free time. This one felt real. There's a lot of people on the interwebs that are speculating that this has something to do with his 80 for Brady movie that's coming out. But I really have a tough time buying that. He just didn't look like he had much fun this year.
God, what a fucking wrestler move if that's what it is, just to drum up attention. Is he selling a pay-per-view? That's what's happening?
It's a movie.
That's what I know, but he's selling the pay-per-view.
I mean, yeah, technically a movie is a pay-per-view, depending on how you do it.
Yeah, it seems real this time. Less pageantry, more straight to the point. And I think he did it this way a little bit to shit in Adam Schefter's mouth because of what happened last year. Because it seemed like he wasn't quite ready to go, but his announcement, everything got screwed up for him, so he just went with it and thought he had one more in the tank, I guess. But this seems more personal, that he's ready to actually walk away now. So good for him.
Yeah, it seemed like, he wasn't. He came out and said he was going to have the old, emotional essay and wasn't going to do all the pomp and circumstance. So it is what it is. Mac has arrived.
We'll be there soon.
Yeah. Now, so
he's getting ahead of us.
Yeah, he is. We're talking about a quarterback here. Hold on just a second, Mac. We'll get there in just a second. Calm down. We may not have an agenda, but we have an agenda.
I have an agenda.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is it. It is the end of the career of admittedly the greatest of all time, as much as that hurts to say sometimes. But I think we finally came to that realization last year when he retired the first-ish time and had the conversations about it. It's, at the end of an era. Good for him. Right after the sunset, and kick Greg Olson off the broadcast and go do play-by-play. That's all I got.
Find more supermodels to bang.
And I think that means that Aaron's sticking around for a year, right? There's no way he's retiring the same year as Tom. Not a chance.
Oh, he's going to the Jets. Didn't you hear?
No, I think he's staying in Green Bay, but
I know. It would just be so funny. It would be so funny if he goes to the Jets, because
and then to the Vikings.
Right, because it's all about history repeating. Like, come, really?
History is a flat circle.
I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
Win a Super Bowl, play for a really long time, go to the Jets, don't do very well.
Oh, well, do very well with one thing. The women, apparently.
Not too well. They kind of
10 years after the fact.
Right. Yeah, I can see Rodgers being that big of a egotistical dweeb that he's like, well, guess got to play another year and get my own moment in the sun.
That's what it is. He's got to have his own Hall of Fame first ballot headliner thing.
Right.
I can see dick move by Timmy to do that to JJ, huh? JJ's not the headliner anymore.
You mean Tommy? I was like, who's Timmy?
Yeah.
No, I call him Timmy because he doesn't deserve my respect.
Timmy!
Exactly.
I could see Rodgers doing the whole victory tour, right? The old farewell victory lap. I'm going to retire after this year, and have everyone give him shit in every building that he's ever won in. And,
Exactly.
I could see him doing that.
And not be a douchebag. I mean, they're already going to have to pay him $40 million anyways. You might as well stick around for the year and give them something for their $40 million.
Right. Could be. Could be. Mark, what do you predict? What's going to happen with Rodgers?
He's going to play this year in a Green Bay uniform. Nobody wants that contract.
No.
Not for somebody who's 139 and, does the whole mushroom
The
ass
ayahuasca.
butter,
Ayahuasca, yeah.
ass butter mushroom cleanse.
Ass butter. I think that's part of the OnlyFans thing. I don't know if that's out on your either.
Wasn't there something about like cleansing all of his pores, and one of them he had to rub like ghee butter in his butthole or something?
I actually think that is correct because the trip that he went on was a cleansing one. In addition to the ayahuasca, he did another one that apparently made him vomit and shit for like 8 consecutive hours or some weird shit
like 8 days. He did a cleanse for like 8 days.
Yeah,
part of it was
days.
he had to rub like fucking ghee butter in his butthole or some shit.
That's probably just to make it easier so he doesn't, burn out his O-ring or something.
I missed what you said. My headphones went dead.
he said something about blowing out an O-ring.
I did not say blow. I said burn.
Oh, burn out an O-ring. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Maybe I think the ghee butter might have just been like, an all natural lotion kind of thing. Maybe.
Lubricant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it easier.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah, diarrhea for 8 days. You're probably going to need to treat something.
Yeah.
There's more
nobody wants that.
To have about ghee butter in the bottle than
nobody wants that albatross of a contract. That much money for a guy that's definitely on his way out within the next, at most, 2 years. No one wants that.
No,
you're probably right. You're absolutely right. I agree with that 100%. At any rate, let's move on to off of that disgusting subject and talk about something that might be a little bit more fun. Hey guys, I don't know if you heard or not, but we have a coach.
Yeah, apparently. Finally have a coach to go along with our quarterback.
We have coach!
We have a coach!
We have a coach!
Not only do we have a coach, but apparently the Dolphins are about to lose a coach. Because apparently
he was never there.
He was there.
He never signed.
He didn't officially sign, but
he never signed.
Everything was pointing to him going.
Right.
Including all discussions with the team and basically a contract that was being written up for him to go to Miami.
But he didn't sign. And as we know in this coaching cycle with our own beloved Denver Broncos, unless you have the contract signed, shit's not done yet.
Right?
Which brings up, what's that dipshit's name? Raiders.
McDaniels.
Thank you, McDaniels. Did he actually sign a contract with the Colts, or before he just didn't show up?
Yes, he did sign.
Okay.
Yes, he absolutely signed that contract and then backed out 2 days later, reportedly because his wife didn't want to live in Indianapolis.
Well, apparently because Irsay shit in their toilet improperly.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, I did hear that.
He went like back stall style.
Gave him a floater in the top of the tank.
Yeah, he went back stall style. Like fucking took a dump in the top. Is that true?
No. What happened was
what is going on?
There is definitely there's a story out there that Tim Irsay spent an inordinate amount of time in the McDaniels family bathroom, wherever that was, whether they were staying at Irsay's house or he was over there. I don't remember the exact details. He was at their house. He spent a lot of time, an inordinate amount of time, up to 2 hours in the McDaniels family bathroom, and there was poop involved.
Apparently that freaked McDaniels' wife out.
Yeah. I mean, it would freak me out. Like,
she said, "You're not going to go coach for that guy." That was weird.
So he took a shit for 2 hours in the bathroom, and they only have one bathroom at the McDaniel's house?
No, it was
all hearsay.
it was
I
their
don't know.
family bathroom. It was theirs. Like he had a guest bathroom he could use, but he was in like the master bathroom, right?
Yeah, something like that. It was something weird. Weird.
Yeah.
And
It's a
and he-
rumor. It's a rumor.
It's
and
a
he went
rumor.
top, and there is top deck. There's top deck action on there. Like pooped in the top deck.
I have not heard that bit.
I don't know that part. Yeah, I cannot
Interesting.
confirm.
Yeah. So yes,
I mean, I
but-
could see Jimmy Du Bois doing something like that. He's fucking crazy as a crazy person.
right. I mean, he could have hit one of the adult establishments in Indy and taken a couple bumps off of somebody's keister and then come on over and just,
Had some poop problems.
hi guys.
Went for the top. Went for the top shelf.
Yeah, right. From way downtown.
Yes, but we do have a new coach who
Yes.
apparently doesn't have any pooping problems that we know of.
No, does not have any pooping problems. Okay.
We have officially traded for rights and are signing, seemingly, if we're trading for the rights to him, Sean Payton.
Yep. The number I heard, and this was reported by Vic Lombardi at Altitude Sports, it's 5 years, 85, so significantly less than the 25 we thought. It's about $17 million a year, which I think is right in line with a coach of his talent and
Stature.
ability and stature. I think that's a good way to put it.
Right in line with Belichick, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That actually puts him under
slightly
Belichick.
more. Does it put him under? I thought it was slightly more this year, and then Belichick next year is like the highest paid coach of all time at like 20 million. Or is he at 20 million now? I thought
I
Belichick
think
was
he's
at
at 20
12
now.
million.
It's a lot either way. He's at the very least the second highest paid coach.
Hey, Tank. You see that look on Mark's face? That's the I'm Googling shit look.
20 million per year.
Now, as long as we don't see any weird arm rotations. Cool.
Yeah, hand there you go.
Is that really
All
gonna be
right.
a thing now?
No, it is not.
It's 2 weeks in a row that we've done it.
I know. Good God.
Hands on screen. Hands on screen.
Right. All right. So, Mark, I'm going to start with you. Please react to Sean Payton being the head coach of the Denver Broncos.
Fuck them picks, as Tim Patrick posted.
I saw that.
Definitely.
We have four picks this year. 4.
Hey, at least we're gonna
And
get
not
some.
not one before the third round.
Correct.
So free agency better be good. I think you have to bring Dalton Reisner back at this point, which was not the plan at the end of the year. You have to bring him back. They just don't have the depth otherwise. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do in the first couple of years due to the drafting restraints that they've got, how they build the depth of this team without any draft picks. I know that they've done an okay job of that, but how many first round picks are here anymore of Denver's own?
One.
Yeah, it's the one that
Jerry.
Okay, and
I think that's it.
and Pat Surtain.
Yeah,
Oh, we
Pat.
do have Pat Surtain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
Okay,
has
that
two.
barely counts. But
What,
yes.
what was Cortland?
That Court
round.
was a second rounder.
Was he a second?
Second round. So you can see that the top round picks are not their forte per se. So you know that Peyton's going to be really good at bringing in depth. I think eventually Sean Payton ends up doing most of the drafting decisions, and George Payton goes deeper into the draft and finds more of the depth type guys, and they could probably work something High Ghost of Sarah out like that. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do. Obviously, High Ghost of Sarah with their with the assistant coaches. You know, obviously Vic Fangio is probably going to be the coach. I'm not going to worry about him with his, you know, whatever. He'll swallow his pride for, you know, coaching with his buddy. Plus, he just has to sit in the upstairs and coach guys, during game day. So it's not like he has to be on the field or anything. So it's back to his natural habitat in the cave in the stadium. Offensively, does he? What was the guy's name that he had the last year? Do you guys remember his last offensive coordinator?
That would have been 2021. I don't remember.
But I can't remember now. I remember. God, who was that?
I don't remember.
I know who you're talking about too. I just can't. Yeah. Well,
I don't remember. Anyways, yuck.
It matters not.
Mike McCarthy's one. Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. The coaching staff. That's going to be far more important than I think. Obviously, fuck them picks. So yeah, good job. Hopefully, we can figure out what to do. Yes, we see what's going on over there.
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
We see it.
we will get to them.
Yes. Okay.
You don't run this podcast. Okay? We do. God damn it.
Simmer down. Simmer down. I'm not answering that. All right, moving on. Tank, your reaction, sir.
Liquid soap.
You know what? I'm fine with it. I think he's a good enough offensive coach. I think he gets more credit than he deserves, but I think he is a good enough offensive coach that overall he should be helpful. I mean, the biggest issue they always had with the Saints was their defense was garbage. So either Fangio or Evero, depending on who's there next year, will be in control of that defense. And
Tank, can you do something about our parents?
I can't.
Hey, you know what? Take the engagement. We got someone reacting to something on Facebook. It's fine.
They're not reacting. They're creating their own conversation.
I know. That's fine. It's totally fine. Knowing full well that they're 5 feet away from each other.
That's option to avoid. But yeah, I think either Fangio or Evero will be there. I don't know who he's going to bring in for his OC, to be honest. Is it just going to be a clipboard carrier, or is he actually going to give someone the OC job and make them actually do it? I don't know, because isn't the guy that was with him still with the Saints, Carmichael?
Carmichael, maybe. I'm trying to think. I can't remember. Joe Lombardi.
Either way, I don't know. I don't think that part's going to be an issue. If he brings someone in, he brings someone. If not, I mean,
that's who I was thinking of. Joe Lombardi. Old quarterbacks coach.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, it's his old quarterbacks coach.
The old QB coach. He might. I don't know. We'll see what happens with That's interesting. Okay.
You're not Matt. You're Sarah's husband.
Yeah, I know. I know.
It cracks me up.
If Evero sticks around, if he is going to stick around, I think it's going to be at most a year. They might keep him on if they don't bring Fangio over immediately. Because as far as I know, Fangio hasn't done a whole lot of anything over the last year. Isn't he just been kind of riding the pine?
No, he hasn't done it. He hasn't had to.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He took a year off. He made meatballs. And now he's looking for another gig. And he was linked up a lot of meatballs. You know what? And I'll bet Papa Vic is a fantastic cook. I'll bet when it's the off season and he gets that week that he takes, he just makes the shit out of some great food. I bet he does.
So we need to get old Uncle Vic and Dr. Del Cario together.
Oh, that would be spectacular. Oh, yes. Let's do that.
Meatball, Fangio, and Dr. Good Pasta.
Right. I'm all about it.
Sounds like a marriage made in heaven.
Right. And Tank brought it up. There's this question about who's going to be the offensive coordinator. Is the offensive coordinator going to actually be the OC, or is it going to be, kind of that Eric Bieniemy style, where they support and not necessarily call all the plays? The thing I really like about this, guys, is where Sean Payton made his mark was with. Now, stay with me. It was with a quarterback with a good defense, good running back, a couple of good outside receivers, and a shorter, somewhat mobile quarterback who threw a great deep ball.
Well, I will give you. I actually was talking to Milty about this at the bar today. The fact that there are a lot of similarities between Hall of Famer Drew Brees and one Russell Wilson. I will say that Drew Brees had to develop his accuracy later in his career. So he wasn't throwing quite as many deep balls, but he could hit that 25-yard out on a line. I'm not sure if Russ has that in him anymore. We'll see. He needs to get fully healthy, and we'll see what happens. But
right, I don't know that shoulder was right after week 4.
Well, that hasn't always been his thing. His thing hasn't always been the medium route. No, that's not Russ. Russ is the deep ball accuracy.
Yeah, right.
He takes shots.
Drew Brees was the 15-yard out and let the guy run for 100 yards afterwards. That's just, and so we'll see what happens with the difference between the accurate quarterback and hopefully Russ can get back to it, but we'll see what happens.
Well, he showed a little bit at the end of the year being able to hit that deep ball again. So
he definitely threw more touchdowns than he has bathrooms in his house.
Correct. Finally. And we finally started to see a little bit of the developing of the chemistry between Russ and his receivers, in particular one, Jerry Jeudy. And Tank, you touched on it last week about how when they finally allowed the offense to play offense and did things that Russ did well, what happened to Jerry Jeudy? He had fantastic game after fantastic game.
And they put Jeudy in the big part about that was
Jeudy
putting Jeudy at the X instead of making him a slot. He's not a slot receiver. He's an X receiver.
Yeah.
He's short.
Jeudy bring Tim Patrick back as the Z, as the Y, and put Cortland in there because hopefully Cortland gets right again, but his explosiveness is completely gone this year.
Well, and his hands disappeared this year, big time.
And then you have,
he was struggling with confidence. You could tell. I think this was the year for Cortland where he was figuring out how to play with the knee, couldn't quite figure it out. You see stories. Right. You see stories of, guys coming back from an ACL after 8 or 10 months and they're great, but typically it's the year after you come back where you're finally back to 100%. The guy I really would like to see, and God, please let him stay healthy. Can we keep KJ Hamler on the field?
Hamler on the field.
Yes.
And you bring a star running back.
Yeah, we get Javonte back.
Yep, absolutely.
Can we keep that old man around as the new?
I don't know. I don't know if Latavius sticks around. I think they may move on from Latavius. As much as he was fun to watch and was punching out 8-yard carries, just running straight ahead and carrying an entire defense on his back. I don't know that they pay him what they're probably going to have to pay him to keep him. This might be the end of Latavius Murray in the NFL.
Yeah, we can always just draft a running back, right?
No, but running backs are everywhere. You can get a third-year guy that someone's going to cut, right? And you've got Chase Edmonds, you've got we talked about Javonte, and there was the third, Marlon Mack.
I forgot about Marlon Mack.
Right. He was hurt most of the year, right?
They were all hurt.
I know.
Except Melvin, and Melvin just didn't have hands. His arms are made of arms. There are no fingers. There's just arms attached to arms.
I believe currently on the practice squad for the Chiefs still.
Yes, he is.
So he might get a Super Bowl ring anyway. That's wild.
And he will. Jesus.
What a weird thought. Now,
right? The other thing I think is the positive thing about this move is you finally get after a year, and after a year you finally get an adult voice in the room, and someone is not going to take any shit. 2, I'm not going to say it, Mama Sue. I'm not going to say it. No,
I already did. I just did.
Yeah. Tank did.
I'm not going to say it. All right.
Tank
You just said ring.
Could get a Super Bowl ring.
Could get a ring. There you go.
Chiefs, who's currently on the
Super Bowl ring.
Right. See?
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, because your wife will throw a shoe at you.
Well, and I hate the Chiefs, so fly Eagles fly. I mean, it's like asking someone who roots for Boston, the Red Sox, to cheer for the Yankees in the World Series. It's just not going to happen.
That's why I don't get the whole SEC. Oh my God, here we go again. The SEC is the greatest thing. Like, I'll always cheer for SEC teams because don't they just beat the shit out of each other in conference anyways?
Yes,
you said.
But SEC football is different. That's a religion, and it's SEC is the greatest in the world because an SEC team winning validates that worldview that the SEC plays the best college football.
It's fucking stupid.
I know it is. I didn't say it made sense.
Sadly accurate for the most part.
But it's fucking stupid.
It is fucking stupid. So fly, Eagles, fly. That's all I have to say. So back to my original point. You're getting an adult in the room who's not going to take any shit. You're getting a steady.
Eventually, we're gonna need an adult in the room here sometime.
I know. Well, there's 2 of them over here on the chat box that nobody else can see besides us, just going ape shit.
Neither one of them are adults.
I know.
You've met those 2.
I know. I mean, you got Mama Sue screaming about STDs. I don't know what is happening here.
What?
I know.
And
what? I can't say it on the air.
Right, Mark, you did. Mark, you said it last week. We could not go into this season with another rookie head coach because I think probably Broncos country would have torn itself asunder. It just would not have gone well, no matter who it was. You weren't going to get D'Amico. Every report is he was going to Houston, and that is a far worse of a decision from a business standpoint than it is a family standpoint. I think he's really going to regret going to Houston because that is just a dumpster fire.
Well, and it's so weird that he has loyalty there, considering he sued them. He sued them because they fucked his life up. When he played there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So where's the loyalty?
Right. Well, that's where his wife's from. So we want to go home. I mean, good luck to you. I hope you do well, D'Amico. But that franchise is a dumpster fire. It's not going to go well. They got the wrong 2 people at the top of that organization, and it's not going to get worse.
And they seriously do have one of the better up-and-coming teams in their division, so I don't see what they're going to be doing for the next few years, besides getting their ass kicked by Trevor.
Correct.
My ADD is going bonkers right now.
I know. Yeah. Can we turn off the chat box? Is that a thing? Oh wait, maybe I can do this.
You can change it.
I don't see the chat box anymore. Ha 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 ha.
Oh man, it's still right here for me.
Oh no, I went full screen. To hell with it.
Okay.
But you're right. You also have that veteran coach, right? We finally have someone in after the last 6 years of nonsense where you've got that veteran coach with some stature and some gravitas in the room who's going to be able to command more respect, certainly than the guy who had it the first 3 years, probably more than the guy who had it the next 3 years, and definitely more than the guy we had the last year. So
we're getting called out.
That's okay.
Can't see it.
Yeah, that's obvious, Mom. But yes, you are.
No, Toaster's not on this. You don't need to do the big words thing.
You are 100% correct.
If you ever play
Sean Payton thing?
Okay.
Sorry,
Mark.
Yeah,
stop.
Okay.
Tank was talking.
Sorry.
That's all right. You're 100% correct on the Sean Payton thing, though. With him, his presence alone should at least get some of the flippant nature of the locker room under control. And it should be beneficial there at the very least. We'll see if Russ can, I don't know, put away whatever ego he seems to have that people are complaining about and let Sean help him. We'll see what happens, though, I guess.
I think the stuff with Russ was more the fact that they were losing and people needed something to point to. I mean, every quarterback in the league has an office. Every quarterback in the league has a staff, especially the long-term starters, right? It's just how that game is played anymore. And you can see what happened when the freaking coaches just got out of the way and called stuff that was actually designed for the talent on the field instead of trying to shoehorn 3 wides into every single play call. Actually did pretty good. Look at that.
Yeah, it
They
did do
scored
pretty
points.
well.
Yeah, they scored points.
Had
Yeah,
two of
and
their best games
we're
of the
not-
season.
We're not used to seeing quarterbacks here with offices because the last quarterback we had like that was Peyton Manning, and it's been a while since Peyton Manning.
It's been quite a while.
That's
You're
what I'm saying. So
absolutely right.
we don't know what a professional quarterback looks like because we've
Coming
had
up
zero.
on year 8, right? Since the sheriff was here.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Mark, Denver got really the best coach in the current hiring cycle. There really was only one other person who had any kind of experience as a head coach who was available, and it doesn't look like Jim Caldwell's going to get a job anywhere soon. There's still 2 jobs left. So we've got Indy and we've got Arizona kind of picking its scraps here. Where are they going to go?
And do the Rams actually have a head coach?
I'm wondering if that Shaw thing is a reality for Arizona potentially.
That's a possibility. He, with his experience in the college ranks, maybe he can get Kyler to pay attention. That could be a thing. As much as
if Kyler plays next year, I would be massively surprised.
He'll play, it's just, is he going to play the entire year? He's just, you're going to see him, right? I think that guy's made out of.
He got injured late in the season.
Yeah, but he's made out of rubber bands and slinkies, right? I think he comes back. It'd probably be mid-season, I think.
But he's wee.
He is very wee. He is quite wee. And the quarterback who runs primarily and then throws second, that model is not going to last a long time. And then if there's no longevity there, it never will be, because of these guys are too big, too fast. They're taking too many heads off, right? How many quarterbacks in the last 30 years have been able to be primarily running quarterbacks?
0.
Successfully.
One.
And for I'll probably give you.
I'll give you 3.
Okay, go ahead.
There's one right now in Baltimore.
I don't think that is sustainable. He's been hurt each of the last 2 years, and it's only going to get worse. And it's been 4 years.
The offense is designed to do that, though.
I understand. Well, I know, because that's his talent. And when he's healthy, the man is a cheat code. But I don't think that's sustainable. I'm talking about 8+ years as a running quarterback.
Vic.
Yep.
That's the only one I could think of. I mean,
Randall Cunningham.
Randall Cunningham.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, now you're going back in the days to where they were running quarterbacks.
That'd be the 3.
If you're going to do that.
That were a running back, quarterback hybrid style.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are your 3. You could potentially, at this point, I'd say sometimes put Daniel Jones in that category
No, he's a quarterback who runs. That's different.
He runs a
And-
lot.
but
He's
he's
a
a
running back
quarterback-
that throws the football. Look at what he did
But
this year.
he's also not been good until this year. One year is not
Even
a proven
last
track
year.
record.
Even last year, he was a runner.
But he wasn't good at it. The team was terrible.
Well, he was good. He just fumbled all the time.
I think you're
He
proving
was
our
good at the running part. He wasn't good on holding onto the ball.
Hence,
not
it's not
sustained success.
sustainable. It's not sustainable. You cannot
not-
point to that.
Take that is not sustained success.
He
Talking
stayed
about sustainable.
he stayed in the league for his full rookie contract. That's not bad.
Take what's the Giants' record been with him as a starting quarterback?
Okay, the Giants may have been dog shit. We can agree with that. I'm not.
So is
disputing
Daniel
that part.
Jones.
Here's the thing,
Jesus
though.
crap.
Did he get injured? Was he?
Doesn't matter.
Was he
Was
good?
he
It's
primarily
It's
a
not
running?
success. That's not success.
No,
Staying
but-
on the field because you're the best worst option is not success.
They could have
Correct.
picked up other people. I'm not saying.
You're
I'm not
just
disputing
picking
that.
one word
I'm
or
saying-
the other. It's the two words that they are mutually inclusive. We're talking about sustained success.
Well, then, I mean, that brings a lot of people into question. But he was a starting quarterback in the NFL that primarily ran and didn't get injured. So he avoided that big thing. And he was successful this year with, I'd say, at best, half an offense.
Okay. I'm looking at his career stats right now. Over the course of his career, he has completed 64% of his passing.
That's better than Eli.
He where is his rating? His average quarterback rating is 86.5.
That's not terrible.
He has 60 touchdowns and 34 interceptions in 4 seasons. So that's what, 15 a season? 15 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And his career record, which
Okay, but you're
by
not bringing up
definition is sustained success is 21 and 31 and 1.
I'm not debating the wins and losses because winning is not a QB stat. I refuse to believe in that. Winning is not a QB stat. It's a team stat. You don't count wins for quarterbacks. It takes a whole team to win a game. It doesn't take one fucking guy to win a game.
Name a starting quarterback in the Super Bowl who's won with those kind of statistics.
Terry Bradshaw, he has 4 of them.
Have those kind of statistics though, because he had Hall of Famers all around him.
Yeah, so is that Daniel Jones' fault that he doesn't have a good team around him?
In this particular conversation, yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
That's not his fault. He literally had one receiver that caught more than one touchdown in the last 2 years.
Have they won a lot of games?
No, but that's because the rest of their team is dog shit.
Did they win enough games to get into the postseason this year?
Yes.
And what happened in the postseason?
They got smoked
They
by
got
the
boat
Eagles
raced.
after they won their first game. Better than a lot of teams that have superstar quarterbacks.
Okay, so let's get off of just the eye test and let's just talk about numbers. Only one time has Daniel Jones been able to manage more than 500 yards rushing in his career, and it was this last season. That to me is not a running quarterback. That's a quarterback who runs. That's
What's
different.
the total numbers?
You
What's the total numbers? What's the average numbers?
the average isn't going to matter because it goes anywhere from
Goes down.
279. It's 279 to 708. So
Okay,
average tells you absolutely nothing.
Well, based on those
it's
numbers,
3 years.
the average
It's
is
3
about
years.
400 and something yards a year.
Yeah, that's not a running quarterback. That's a
How many
quarterback. who runs.
quarterbacks do you know that do that minus the ones that we've just talked about? There's maybe 4 in the entire league that get 400 rushing yards in a season.
Well, go
We
ahead
have
and pull
gone
those
way
stats up.
off track with semantics.
I'm
here.
just saying. No, I'm saying.
He's not a running quarterback. He's a quarterback who runs. There's
He's
a
also
difference.
not sustained success.
He's not sustained success.
I don't know. I'd say he's a running quarterback. The success,
I don't know,
I understand the
To
success
put him in the
part of it.
same category as like a Michael Vick or a Randall Cunningham is silly.
He's never
I'd say if you
thrown for more than
geared the offense that
3,300
direction, he
yards.
has that capability. He actually is a fairly mobile quarterback.
There are a lot of fairly mobile quarterbacks. That's not what we're talking about.
Not to that to the degree that Daniel Jones
Justin
is.
Fields. Now you're just comparing Daniel Jones to Daniel Jones. This is not that conversation. I'm talking about quarterbacks who have been a sustained success being a running quarterback. And you've got
Why
did we even go down this rabbit hole? This is the dumbest argument I've ever been a part of.
Because I made a statement that Tank said something dumb and we held him out for it. That's what happened.
Oh, well, we were talking about running quarterbacks that have success in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yes,
why were we talking about that, though?
Oh, because we're talking about Kyler.
We were talking
about
we were
talking about week.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about Kyler. Yeah, with Kyler.
Sorry, I completely forgot what we were talking about. we got
talking about
a little
Kyler.
off the rails there.
We were talking about who might actually coach Kyler.
The only reason I brought up Daniel Jones is because I'd say he's like the 5th most active runner as a quarterback in the league right now.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that tells me that's a guy that if you design the offense to make him a runner, would be a runner.
I would compare. Yeah, I mean, it's all about the design of the play calling, right?
Yeah.
Works successfully.
Obviously,
not
to the same degree as Michael Vick or Justin Fields or guys that get 800 yards rushing a year. I understand that concept, but he has the capability of doing that. And I'd say the reason his success wasn't there is because he has never had a good team around him.
He's very successful while running, although he throws the ball as well. You know, a la Josh Allen does the same thing.
True. But Josh Allen is an entire offense built into one player, and that's a problem in Buffalo.
Yeah.
But okay, let's get past that. Kyler Murray, yes, whoever takes over in Arizona is getting Kyler Murray, and that could potentially be David Shaw, right? That's where we were at the beginning of this.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's only a possibility because he's still out there and made a decision yet. So
exactly. But we were trying to figure out who was most likely to land in the last 2 spots that are currently available.
Yep. Yeah, you've got.
I'm wondering if Steve Wilkes goes somewhere also. I'm wondering about Steve Wilkes potentially.
Has he got an interview anywhere?
I think he's gotten a couple, but he really thought he was getting that Carolina job. And then they kind of took that from him for some reason. I'd say he was decently successful with the dog shit team last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. He deserved a shot. Bisaccia deserved a shot. But neither one got it because the interim guys don't tend to stick around for whatever reason.
No. But in San Francisco, before they got, the current coach, they had a guy who farted during the press conference.
True. Do you think there's any chance that Wilkes gets one of those 2 jobs then?
I haven't seen that he's interviewed anywhere, so I don't think so. I haven't seen him on a single interview list.
Who has Arizona interviewed? I haven't heard him talking about anyone besides Shaw and Ryans.
Well, let's just see. Hold on.
I think
this is the part of the show where we break out Google.
Well,
this is part of the show where we break
I think
out
Peyton interviewed there, but there was like 0 interest on Peyton's part to go to Arizona.
He did go there, but I think it was a ploy to get
exactly. I don't think there was any chance that he actually went.
Yeah. He was just making sure he was, and I think they kind of said they were out of it as well.
And whoever takes over there is losing their number 1 receiver, won't have a starting quarterback at the beginning of the year. And I'm fairly certain James Conner is on his last legs. So he's basically Jerome Bettis at this point.
Here just for Arizona. Jonathan Gannon, who will probably not be able to. He probably wouldn't be able to interview until after the Super Bowl since he is the OC. And
Right.
Brian Callahan is an interesting name.
That is an interesting name.
Brian Flores.
That'd be an interesting person to take over there
as well.
Yeah, and there's rumored interest in Shane Steichen as well, who is interviewed at a couple other places.
So Shaw's not even on their list, or Wilkes. That's interesting.
I see neither of them, at least according to this Arizona paper.
I mean, out of those, I guess you lean towards Flores potentially.
Is it the Desert Tribune?
I don't know.
The North Hell Times.
I just closed it. North Hell Times. Yeah, this is all.
I'd say Flores is the only one of those that's kind of rebuilt a team. I mean, he was doing a good job in Miami until they decided to fire his ass.
Yeah, they did him dirty. Oh, and defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo is another one. He's had a couple of talks too.
All right.
Where is his current job? I don't recognize that name.
Oh, was he with the Falcons?
Maybe.
No. Maybe.
No, Bengals. He's the Bengals DC.
Bengals.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yep. So they've interviewed both the coordinators out of Cincinnati. They've interviewed Peyton Evero, Brian Flores, Aaron Glenn, and their current coordinator. Would anyone like to fathom a guess as to who Arizona's current defensive coordinator is?
It's what's his name? Having the greatest time of his life.
Yeah.
It's Vance fucking Joseph. Yes, it is.
Vance having the greatest of his life, Joseph.
Hey, he was a good defensive backs coach.
He's a good defensive coordinator.
But he's having the time of his life.
They had a lot of collapses this year, though, but I don't know if that was fully on him because that offense just became.
He must not have just been having the time of his life.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That moment where Dink becomes sick of my shit.
So, what do you guys think are the chances that Jeff Saturday takes the interim tag off? Because he's had 2 interviews too.
If they do that, we should just fire the Colts into the sun at this point and start a new team.
Jim shit in the top deck. Ursay could do anything, man. He's crazy. I heard he went to a party one time at the McDaniels.
It was fairly obvious. Okay, so their team was not good this year. Very obviously. The high point of their team was their defense and their offensive line. And both of them were questionable as shit this year. Jonathan Taylor had an off year. That whole team had an off year. So I can't completely pin that on Saturday. But how do you come back from just getting crushed by the Vikings in that game in that second half? That was disgusting. Like, how do you recover from that?
You can't.
No.
That shows a lack of preparation, a lack of being able to keep your team in the game, to just lose that bad after having that big of a lead.
AKA the Christmas Broncos game.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right, so here's a list of interviews that the Colts have had. They've talked to Evero. They've talked to. I think that was their first one. Yeah, they've talked to Bubba Ventrone, who is their special teams coordinator in Indianapolis. They've talked to EB Raheem Morris.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, right. Ben Johnson, who's the Lions offensive coordinator. That's not bad. Aaron Glenn, who's the Lions defensive coordinator. That guy's got a ton of respect. Been around for a while. They've talked to Steichen, talked to Bisaccia, Callahan. We're just going to ignore Dan Quinn. Mike Kafka, who looks like he should be a heel in a professional wrestling outfit.
Yeah, he kind of
and
does.
and Wink Martindale.
What?
I'm gonna
Wait,
hear Mike Kafka.
what?
Yeah, Wink
He's
Martindale.
still looking for a job in the NFL?
Yeah,
Oh, he's the Giants DC job.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. He is
Yeah.
with the DC. That's right.
Yeah,
I
for your
completely
Daniel
forgot
Jones,
about that.
for your boy
Wow.
Danny.
oh, he's the DC, so he doesn't have anything to do with
I thought you said offensive.
Can we
coordinator.
agree on the idea that maybe Joe Judge might have fucked up Danny's, growth in New York?
Yeah, I would solidly agree with that.
No.
That doesn't make Daniel Jones not your boy, though.
I don't care. Call him my boy. He had a good year this year. Give him a receiver that's actually a number one on any team in the league, and maybe he'll do something.
He is officially your guy.
Yep.
Team
cool with
tank.
I like Daniel
Team
Jones.
tank. I'm intrigued by Raheem Morris. I think that's a hell of a pick if they decide to go that direction. I think Tank's right. If they go with Saturday again, that experiment shown to be a complete unmitigated disaster in every way, shape, and form. He won, one game and just shit the bed the rest of the season. Aaron Glenn, that is a name. I think he's only had one or two interviews out of the 5 teams, if he even got more than just the one. Aaron Glenn knows his shit. That guy knows defense forwards and backwards. So that would be interesting. It's just, again, when we talked about it before, what kind of a staff do these guys put together is the big
Well, and they
question.
need an offensive guy. I mean, they don't have a quarterback at this point. So
that's absolutely correct. They have no.
They're going to need someone to work with a quarterback.
No quarterback.
Ben Johnson, if that's the case. He made Jared Goff into a Pro Bowler somehow.
Well, that doesn't say much because Tyler Huntley is in the Pro Bowl this year.
Yeah, that's right, Tyler Huntley. Why?
So I'm forever throwing out anybody that says anything about, well, they made the Pro Bowl this year. I don't care about them because a guy who played in 4 games this year and went 2-1, 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and he's in the Pro Bowl,
which is hilarious because he's in the Pro Bowl, yet they're somehow making the argument that Brock Purdy shouldn't even be consideration for offensive rookie. And I'm like, he won every game until the divisional playoffs or the conference playoffs. That's not bad for a rookie.
With one arm.
Yeah, with a fucked up elbow. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, they gotta figure something out down there. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and they're never going to do it, but they should just consider people who get selected to the Pro Bowl initially before everyone starts having surgery, backing out, has to play in the Super Bowl, that kind of thing. That should be your Pro Bowl team. And then if you get to play the game because Josh Allen backed out and Joe Burrow backed out, then there you go. You get to play in the game, but you're not officially considered a Pro Bowler in terms of stats. But they'll never
mean like Carr, who also is a Pro Bowler this year now?
Yeah. Derek Carr is a Pro Bowler.
Derek Carr.
For a team that he apparently no longer plays for.
So
yeah, he's going to go play.
When he shows up to the Pro Bowl this year, what jersey does he wear?
Well, he gets AFC jersey.
The Pro Bowl jersey. Yeah.
Do you think
they're not wearing helmets.
Yeah.
They're not wearing helmets. There's no game. It's flag.
Skills thing.
Somebody get a microphone in that guy's face.
Oh yeah, I want him wired for the Pro Bowl. Like big time.
I want somebody get a microphone and a couple of cocktails in that guy.
Yeah, I want to hear him just ragdoll McDaniels verbally.
That's what I want to hear. Fuck the Pro Bowl.
You know what you do, Mark? Here's what you do. You get the guy wired for sound. You follow him around with a camera crew the entire time, and you've got 8 hours of Hard Knocks, the Pro Bowl edition, and that's going to be the most compelling television you have seen in years. I'm telling you right now. That's
Hard Knocks. Just call it a Hard Knocks car.
One little slip up between him and Huntley, like, why the fuck are we here?
Get Liv Schreiber to narrate it again. Oh, it'd be great.
Oh, that we've got a hit right there.
Yeah.
I
Summon
guess
Dell.
that's kind of the next thing. Now that Brady's out
Well,
and
Mark
seeming,
McPherson, if you are my father-in-law, I love you. Will you just send one more comment if you're still on, please? I'm tired of seeing the bottom comment there. I don't know if it's the same on your end, Tank.
Oh, yeah. Mama Sue is asking him to do inappropriate things.
Yeah, I can't look at that anymore.
I have Dad as the last one. Talking about our football knowledge.
No, I'm talking about the one at the. Thank you.
There.
Good God.
That was me. I did that. I did that.
One.
Yeah, the bottom
did that.
comment. Yeah, if you push it down, then I can't see it anymore, and I've been staring at it for 5 minutes, going.
That one. Gotcha. I didn't realize which one you were talking about. I thought you meant the one on the bottom of the screen on my side.
Not
I'm like,
opening the
that's not
next
that
text
bad.
No,
that
we are
Max
not.
sends me.
We're gonna have a
Gonna have
Brett Favre
nightmares
situation.
about. You're gonna have nightmares about our fathers sending me texts.
So Brady's retired.
Yeah.
Tua passed his concussion protocol and seemingly is going to be staying in Miami. Aaron Rodgers is likely, if continuing to play, is going to stay in Green Bay for one more year.
Yeah.
So where's David Carr going? Or Derek Carr going? David Carr's
Houston.
going to hell. Derek Carr's because he's
David Carr is not going to hell. David Carr is a great dude who got hung out to dry and was sacked more than any other quarterback in history.
I didn't mean he deserved to go to hell. I meant that his football
he did
career
go to hell.
went to hell.
Yeah, his football career did because he was set up for failure.
Yeah,
that dude is entirely
Derek
made of splints.
Yeah, that dude got
Derek
ravaged.
Carr is. Yeah, he did. Derek Carr is going one of two places in my mind. I don't think he's going to San Francisco. I think he's either going to go to the Rams or he's going to go to Houston.
No Tampa?
What about Tampa?
No, I don't think he'd go to Tampa. I think he's west of the Mississippi.
What about New York?
That's going to be Jimmy G. I think.
That brings San Francisco back into the conversation.
The Jets job.
I think San Francisco is going to pick one of the three. I don't know that they're going to bring somebody else in. They've already proven they can have success with Purdy. Purdy's definitely going to have a chance to start. Jimmy G's still there. They'll probably keep Purdy around for a year and then try Trey Lance again.
Well, I'm seeing that all depends.
And I'm talking about 2024.
Yeah, if Trey's doesn't recover, which I mean, how many people have recovered even in a year from an ACL or ankle? He's his ankle, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
to be honest,
broke his leg. Did he? Did he break his leg at the ankle joint?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then Purdy, it depends on what surgery he gets. If he gets the corrective surgery, he's out for a year. If he gets the clean it up surgery, then he's out for 6 months.
Yeah, the last report I said it'd be 6 months.
So he's not doing the full repair on the UCL then.
No. So I don't know that San Francisco job's wide open. I think it's going to be somebody in house. So it's in my mind it's Houston or it's LA because I think staffing them up.
That's a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah. What about Detroit?
But
they're sticking with Goff.
They're rid of Goff. Yeah, they got Goff. He's a Pro Bowler.
Well, they have no reason to do anything.
Tyler Huntley is a Pro Bowler.
They have no reason to do anything, though. That's the thing. They have no reason to go.
Success gets you in the Pro Bowl.
They have no reason to go outside right now. If they want, they can draft Detroit. They have no reason to go anywhere.
Detroit. No. Jared Goff's not going anywhere.
No.
He's
still got 2 years on his contract, something like that?
Yeah. They're not going to change what they've got going on there because I'm telling you right now, the Lions are going to make the playoffs next year. It's coming.
Yeah.
That's very, very possible.
That coach is doing stuff there.
We all made fun. We all made fun of Dan Campbell when he first came in with biting kneecaps and wanting to walk tigers around on the sideline. lines and
'Cause
just
it
all the
was
crazy
funny.
shit that was
That
saying.
dude's an animal.
It was hilarious, and we just thought he was a meathead. Jesus Christ, this guy can coach.
He is a
He knows
meathead.
his shit.
Yeah.
You know, 100% is a meathead. He just happens
He's
to also be a
100%
good coach,
meathead.
seemingly.
He's got it going, man, for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Dan Campbell is just pawn of Game of Life.
Maybe. Candygram for Mongo.
You know who need? Speaking of candygrams, you know who we need to send a candygram to with Valentine's Day coming up? Gene Bingo.
There it is. That's a 7.
Can you get his
I'll give you a
address?
7. Yeah, I'll give you a 7 for that one.
Wasn't bad, right?
No, it wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. That was good.
Mongo to Mingo.
Mongo to
Candygram?
me. Yep, I saw where you were going. Yep, it
Mongo to
Candygram. It all tied in. We're talking football. Fine, I'll
Right.
allow it. I'll allow it.
Sustained success.
Sustained
Gene Mingo.
success, Tank. Sustained success. That's the
Tyler
bar.
Huntley is a Pro Bowler.
This has been the most weird, disjointed pile of shit.
See what happens when we don't have a list of
We
things
don't
to talk
have a
about
list
in
of
front
things to
of
talk
us.
about, and no reason for me to jump onto the next topic. Like, we got to talk about a coach, and then we end up talking about Tyler fucking Huntley. How did we get here? How is this a thing?
Hey,
Someone explain.
I will let Danny Dimes be my guy. I think he's
And-
gonna have a good year.
And we had
Tank has adopted Daniel Jones.
and
I have
Tank,
adopted Daniel Jones. That's my
Tank has
underrated
firmly
quarterback.
Beloved.
Tank has firmly planted his flag and has died on the hill that is Danny Dimes,
I will.
the
Hey,
former Blue Devil.
give him
Dipshit
give him some good receivers and that decent head coach that wants to call an offense that actually works for him.
So we
He
have
showed
two
he could do
members.
it.
Two members of the Goon Squad who have planted a flag in a hill that they must die on. Dipshit's got what's his name? Hoyer, Brian Hoyer.
Oh, yeah, Brian Hoyer.
Okay, that's a weird one. All right.
No, it's a meme.
Yeah,
It's a meme.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everything
She
I'm
will
not
die
memeing.
on that hill.
By the way, 100% not memeing. I think Daniel Jones actually is a good quarterback if he has some decent
But-
shit around him.
You've
Yeah,
said that
we
7
said that.
times.
I mean it, though. I'm not
I
joking.
think we've heard that. Yeah. And Tyler Huntley is a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley sucks, but that's
He's gonna suck when he plays in the Pro Bowl.
watch him win the quarterback competition somehow.
Yeah, because it's the underwear Olympics. No one's going to be in his face. He's not actually
True.
playing football. He's just standing there throwing a football.
Who
Is that not a
Tyler
lot
Huntley,
more
who's
entertaining than the
going to
Pro Bowl games have been
Bowl?
recently? I would rather
Oh,
watch
it's going to
that.
be. I'd rather watch that. The Pro Bowl has been trash for 20 years. Give me the skills competition. Give me a flag football's fun. Whatever.
Yeah,
It's
do
better
arm
than what
wrestle.
we've had. Let's
When
not.
was the one when Sean Taylor knocked out? Was that Kerry Collins?
I remember.
Oh, was
one.
that the sand flag football when it was like 5-on-5?
No,
No,
that
it was a real football game.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. I was thinking.
Laid that dude out.
no, it wasn't Kerry Collins. Who it was Flacco? Was it Flacco?
Yeah, it was Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Yeah, he completely annihilated
Yeah.
a quarterback. I remember that.
Destroyed.
Yeah. Well,
That's when they started going a little bit lighter. In the
I think
game.
that's why they started going easy.
probably. Probably.
The next year was like, well,
Right.
tackle
Sean
nicely.
Taylor assassinated someone on field.
Right. Sean, and let's,
Ooh, jeez,
let's,
choice of words.
He's not assassinated. He was robbed and shot. That is a different thing.
Oh.
Sean Taylor had 2 speeds. The man was either seated down or he was
Crushing
going full
people's
speed
skulls.
ahead.
Yeah.
And absolutely eviscerating people. I mean, the man was a legend.
That's honestly why I loved that dude because he
Yeah,
was
right. Right. He was that dog. He was that guy. All right, let's circle back here, fellas. Sean
To
Payton.
where? Okay. Like how far up
We're
the map
going
do we have to
all the
go?
All
the way.
the way back.
Yeah.
Screw it.
History.
We're doing it. We're doing it live.
Once again, history is a flat circle.
That's right.
Time is a flat circle.
Right. Okay. Let's go around the horn and let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Popovic comes back as the defensive coordinator. In terms of offensive coordinator, Mark, do you have a name? Anyone you'd like to see? Someone who's still here? Someone they could bring in a promotion? Who would you like?
Kubiak.
Clint.
Yes.
Okay. Tank.
That was my answer, and if it's not him, oof. I guess Lombardi, right?
That's who I think it's going to be. I'd rather it be Kubiak, but that's who I think it's going to be.
Same here. I'd rather it be Kubiak, but if it's not him, it's got to be Lombardi. He's got to draw him
Yeah.
away.
I think Kubiak's a lot more effective on the field as a quarterback's coach. Outen, if they could keep him, because when he took over the play calling is when it really started to pick up. So you've got Outen as the DC, Kubiak underneath him if you're going to keep anybody. The other name that I've seen thrown out there as a potential to be promoted as an offensive coordinator is Brian Greasy. I'm not sure how sustainable or effective that would be. He's the current quarterbacks coach in San Francisco, so he's in that Shanahan tree.
Wait, he's only been there for a year, though.
I
He's had his
understand.
work fucking cut out for him this year.
Yeah, right. I'm not suggesting it as an option that I like. I'm saying that's a rumor that I've heard, and it's been bandied about a bit on social by
That'd be an
some
interesting
people
choice.
with some a little bit of
Inside
wherewithal and
knowledge.
know-how, a little bit of inside knowledge that he's definitely a candidate to be promoted, if not within, then to take an OC job somewhere, if not next year, then the year after.
Don't get me wrong. I like Brian Greasy a lot. I think he's a great guy, and he got a really bad rap here, but he was a hell of an analyst, and I'm sure he's a great coach.
Yeah, and he's
just
his
done it for 1 year.
his entire professional football career, he's been in that Shanahan system. So I think that West Coast zone blocking, short passing with long shots kind of scheme fits Russ's game. I would love to see more of that here. I would like to see what that
100%.
looks like for an entire season when you're running 2 tight ends instead of running, 31 personnel. Let's see how it works if we can get the right person in that spot.
Weirdly, that's one of my problems with Peyton is that's not the style of offense he runs. He runs the spread. Very efficiently, he ran the spread with Breeze.
Yeah.
But that's not what Russ plays. So hopefully they bring in someone that does do that style of zone spread offense where you're running the ball, just hammering them on the offensive line and then opening up shots downfield.
Right.
I mean, that's what would fit best with the personnel that we have. We talked about the number of receivers that we currently have on this roster that we'd like to see on the field. So that spread offense would actually work really well with the current personnel that we actually have. It's just not something Russ has run. Even in college, he ran, that was when Wisco was doing ground and pound type stuff. So
Right.
it's just not a system he's ever been a part of. Not to say he can't adapt and change. He's just never done it in 10 years.
Well, and he works best out of the other style. I mean, that's what he did in Seattle for the most part. They had a hammer in the backfield, and then every once in a while, he guns one downfield to one of the receivers that can actually catch.
I said, he's never in his career professionally or in college he had to run a spread type offense. So it would be something that he would have to adjust to big time.
Right.
Now maybe Peyton brings over Taysom Hill, so we have a
I saw a meme about that today too.
tight end quarterback.
It was one of those when Russ sees Peyton walking in to and it's like that whole scene with Zoolander, like
Right.
passes Matthew McConaughey.
I think that the first sign we're going to have as to what this offense is going to look like is when they start filling out their staff. If he brings in an established or an up-and-coming OC with a little bit of knowledge and track record, then we'll know it's going to be that kind of a style of offense, whoever that ends up being. If it ends up being that clipboard holder that Tank referred to, then it's going to be more of a Sean Payton style offense. So we really don't know. When we thought going into this year that the wide receiver position was the deepest position group on the team, and we weren't wrong. I mean, you look at just on paper, the talent that we had from Timmy Patrick, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler. That's a legitimate top 4 that any one of those guys would be a good top 3 anywhere else in the league, right? So if those guys can get healthy, especially, Timmy and KJ, that looks better. You're going to get better at left tackle again when Garrett comes back. It wasn't
God, he was a missed piece this year. Holy shit.
He was, absolutely. And the thing with Garrett is it wasn't a soft tissue injury, it was a break. So it's going to ache and pain, but he's not going to have to deal with the standard thing that a guy coming off of an ACL would have to deal with. So you're going to get better on the offensive line. I think if they finally figured out when they fired the offensive line coach that it just wasn't working. And I think that was a huge part of why Dalton Reisner didn't develop the way he should have in year 3. So I think we're going to see a better Dalton Reisner.
Bring back Mike Munchak.
I was literally about to say
he's still in Denver. He's still in Denver.
Still lives here.
Still lives
His daughter's
here.
still going to school.
I would be okay with that.
Same thing. Why they never should have got rid of Munchak.
It was the dumbest thing that George Payton and Jim Hackett ever did.
Yeah, that was such a stupid idea. We were putting together an offensive line that was actually becoming something, and then just ripped it out from under them.
Right.
Yeah.
That was
Jim
absolutely.
I said Jim Hackett.
No, I did. I was just going to gloss.
I was going to slide right by.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to point it out, but I think that
somebody named Jim Hackett.
I think that decision was absolutely a Hackett decision because he brought in his friend. That's his buddy.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that I think was the biggest problem with part of what happened this year in Denver is that Hackett hired a bunch of his friends instead of people that would be able to come in and actually coach. With the exception of Evero. Evero was a really good friend of his, and by God, that guy kicked ass and took names, and he's reaping the benefits of it right now. Fingers crossed that he stays here in Denver, and they can manage to find a way to keep him if he doesn't get a job, but we'll see what happens if Vic's not the answer.
Yeah, that whole thing is weird with Vic being there still, so I don't know. I guess it's up to Sean, right, at this point? Him and George going to have a conversation about that.
Apparently, Sean Payton also, this was, I heard this today. Greg Penner reports that Sean Payton reports directly to him and not George Payton.
Correct.
So it might be them putting the staff together rather than Payton having his eyes on
right. It's much more of that traditional kind of the way the league runs right now, where the GM handles bringing in the players that the coach wants, and the coach reports directly to the owner as opposed to a GM who hired him, right?
Yeah.
So
I like that.
I do too. I think it makes sense.
Also,
it's the way it should be. One guy handles the stuff that happens on the field. One guy gives him the pieces to make that work.
Yeah, they're equals. They're not. One of them is not the other's boss. They're equals.
Mm-hmm. Agreed, 100%. You need to let George make the decisions on personnel, and then, hey, here's what I have for you, Sean. Make it work.
Yeah.
No, it's Sean. I need this. Sean says, I need this type of player, and then Payton goes out and finds.
Well, no, but I'm saying that's but then George makes those decisions, though, where he says, okay, that's what we're looking for. Here's what I have.
There you
go to work.
Let's see what we can do.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
One last thing before we tie this up, guys, and I don't know if you've had a chance to follow any of this, but there seems to be a bit of a pissing war between NFL insiders all around how this story came out and who was talking to who and who was going to go where. And really, I think it boiled down to Rappaport and Schefter kind of pissing in each other's Cheerios.
Well, that's why I said about Tom earlier, just shitting in Schefter's mouth and making the announcement himself this year.
Right, but that was just Brady doing Brady things.
Yeah.
This is two really well respected NFL writers going, this is what happened, and I'm going, that's not what happened. This is what happened. It's like, no, this is really what happened. Oh no, this is what happened, and the back and forth between these two major national writers was hysterical.
Yeah,
I would lean towards Ian's side because he's usually a lot less of a piss taker. He seems to back up more of his stuff with actual information. But
The who?
Ian Rappaport.
Oh, Ian. I was like, the inside?
Yes,
the
inside.
who?
Ian, yeah, I think Ian tends to be more civil about it and tends to get more information that seems real and pertinent to what he's saying, as opposed to Schefter, who just shoots off at the mouth as soon as he gets a little piece of information. But that's me.
I just find it funny.
Oh, it is fun. It was hilarious.
Two talking heads blowing up at each other is fucking funny as hell.
Right.
Yeah.
Watch them eat their young. And you know, it's the most interesting thing about this is we're finding out with this new ownership group that they aren't as close with much of the media as a lot of these other guys are.
Which,
they haven't been there,
to be honest.
And give it time. There will be a time when someone finally figures out how to start talking to these guys, right? Because it's going to happen. That's their job. They'll figure it out. There will be someone who ends up being the mouthpiece, like Schefter was for the Bolin squad for years. Because
right, and Mike Kliss seems to be right now.
I was going to say Mike Kliss is probably going to be that guy.
Yeah, Kliss has the inside track on Peyton. It seems like on
George.
Yeah, George.
George of Jungle.
Right. So we'll see how it all. But Kliss is a local guy. Kliss isn't a national guy. He's not. He's a Channel 9 guy. So,
but even all these guys around town don't. They've all got crazy stories about what happened, and nobody really knows what's going on. It's kind of fun.
Right. Kliss has had some freezing cold takes in recent history, also. So let's see how that works out.
Well, nobody's right all the time, right? There's always going to be, a report from a source that you got, and all of a sudden it ends up being not that way because you take the word of the source that you have. So, Kliss has been right more often than not, especially locally, especially in the last 18 months or so, as things have changed over there at Dove Valley.
True.
So all right, last question. Oh, go ahead.
I said maybe they are feeding him a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. All right, last question. Scale of 1 to 10. Mark, how would you rate the selection of Sean Payton as the coach of the Denver Broncos?
I'm going to put it at a 7.72. 222 repeating, of course. That's where I'm going to put it at. The only thing that's really knocking this down is the fact that we only have 4 draft picks this year. and this team is not very deep. We need some help. But other than that, I think the coaching hire is the right decision. I wish we would have done something a little bit like this last year instead, because I don't think we would be in the quarterback mess that we are, because I don't think a lot of decisions get made. I mean, maybe we have Russell Wilson, but I don't think he's got that contract with a different coach.
Oh, he doesn't come here without that contract.
Yeah, he's not here without that contract. That's why he came. Mm-hmm. He was looking for his payday that he earned in Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Well, then he wasn't coming here.
There you go.
But it's I don't know. There's a big uphill battle here. So I hope it all works out, but we're starting with the short deck.
See, and that's what makes me lean just a little bit higher. I'd say an 8. And the only reason I say that is because Sean knew that they were going to have that cost coming to him, and he knows that he is going to get a little bit of leeway because this is not his team. And knowing all of those pieces of information, he was still willing to come here, which makes me think that maybe he's kind of got an idea of what he wants to do. which is always good to have a guy that seemingly understands the situation and still has a desire to see it played out.
I agree. I think in terms, if you just take the names that were available, it's a 10. He's the best of the coaches that were available to be hired. However, what you had to give up in order to get him, I think, knocks it down a couple notches. And as much as I dislike the Harbaugh brothers, Harbaugh was 1B in terms of, long-term success. Maybe not as much as far as championships, but man knows football. He's coached at the pro ranks before. He's been successful in the pro ranks, so he would have probably been able to do a lot of the same things here, and it wouldn't have cost you, a number 1 and a number 3. But Peyton is the more successful of the two. So, like I said, for the name, it's a 10. For the deal, it's an 8.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed. It's
right.
going to be exciting. It's exciting times in Broncos country. Let's ride.
Exactly. Only bright and shining, sun-shining unicorn farts up ahead, right?
It's
Broncos country. Let's ride. Cleveland Spiders. Let's ride.
I don't think the Cleveland Spiders have rode in about 100 years at this point, but yes.
That gets a 2.
Average it out. It's a solid 4.5.
There you go. All right, Tank, final thoughts. You got anything? Pimp the stuff. Talk about the things.
No, I'm good. Find me at Tank Knox on the socials, obviously NTK podcast, and here on My Brother's an Idiot podcast. My final thoughts are I want to actually know where Derek Carr goes and how pissed he is that he has to rep the Raiders in the Pro Bowl skills competition.
Does he have to, though?
Seemingly. That'd be amazing
if
if he
wearing an
didn't.
AFC helmet.
Oh my god, I hope there's zero Raiders signage on his stuff and he's just wearing a generic AFC
that
jersey.
That would be so good.
I'm telling you, follow him around with cameras.
Give him a few cocktails.
Yep, a few cocktails.
John Daly's the interview guy.
Like a 70s backup quarterback and just starts drinking beers at the beginning of the competition.
Right. Smoking heat. Just firing off heaters at halftime.
You need John Daly there.
Swinging
That's right up John Daly's alley. Set him up at a Hooters every night.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's where he camps out at, right?
Oh yeah. So let's get John Daly.
Let's
get John Daly and Rod Beck with microphones just walking around talking to everybody. Rod Beck with the pack of cools rolled up. All right, Mark, your final thoughts.
Where are the rails? Did we
We
ever
left
have
them over there
rails?
somewhere.
We did not have rails. We did not have
never
rails.
set them up.
Yeah. Tink, yeah.
It's all
No
dirt road
rails.
from here.
We will see you guys next week with probably nerds. Would be my guess.
I think we need to goon for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we
we're going
gotta
to do
do
a Super
both
Bowl
then.
preview.
Yeah.
We got to do both then.
Yep.
Well, you'll get 2 podcasts next week.
Yeah, 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we charging?
No.
No. Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
We want sponsors.
Full disclosure, we make $10 per 1,000 clicks on Anchor because of the ad that we threw on, and we're at like $12. So
Yeah.
maybe
That was a
14.
moment on the podcast every time that we got $1. Yay!
Yay! We got another $1. Yay!
We're going to Taco Bell and almost get a party pack.
We're gonna have tacos.
Yay! Anything else, Mark?
We love you, Gene Mingo.
You don't get to call him out twice.
Las Cruces.
It's in New Mexico?
Mumbai.
Tehran.
Tehran. Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
And how many-
Toasttown and
and
Gothenburg, where that medal's from.
Best part of that bit was every time Mark would stumble over the name of Berlin.
I would go through all the hard ones, and then I couldn't say Berlin. Merlin.
Kazakhstan, Merlin.
Merlin.
It's in Merlin
Merlin,
every
Germany.
time.
Merlin.
It's Merlin.
Well, the
Sad
wizards
'cause
come
it's
from.
true.
Yes, it is. Make sure you, like Mark said, make sure you check us out next week where we'll definitely be talking about the Super Bowl, recap some of our bets, talk about some other things going on in the world of sports, especially around here locally. You can find Mark's Twitter at Poffeltime. My Twitter is at Poffelupagus. The Goon Brothers can be found at the Idiot Goons on Twitch and Twitter, and always you can find us on Facebook. The whole squad is on My Brother is an Idiot. Search that, we'll let you in. My TikTok is at King Goon Smoke. I have no idea what I'm smoking this weekend, but I'll come up with something. There you go.
I smoked a bunch of stuff
You
yesterday.
you did. You smoked some great steaks. Those looked awesome.
Oh, we did 2 sirloins, and then I did bacon and cheese, 10 pounds of cheese.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
It was a good
Yeah,
day.
right. Hey, how'd that reverse sear treat you? Was that good?
Oh, that do you know what? I can't stand a steak that doesn't have a good hard sear on the outside. And so I take pride in my sears because it's got to happen on every steak you have. If you don't get the pan hot enough, if you're going to do that, the steak turns gray. And it's just not very tasty. It's kind of spongy. So it's all about that sear on the steak.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have that sear.
Gotta have the sear.
Gotta have it.
That reminds me of the line from Better Off Dead when he says, "I know it's bacon, but what did you do to it?"
And asparagus is best poached and then grilled.
Correct. I'll absolutely agree with that. At any rate, this has been a giant dumpster fire. Thank you so much for joining us.
And if you're pretending to make mashed potatoes, make sure you don't get the container in the screenshot.
For everybody, I guess we'll see y'all later.
Okay, we'll see you later. This has been My Brother's an Idiot,
Bruh.
and a complete and utter disaster of a podcast, and I can't believe you're still here. But we'll see ya.